Hey guys, so I've been asked for a while now to make a video just talking about, I guess, what I eat every day, my eating plan. So first off, let me say that I do not count my calories ever. I do think it's a little bit of an unhealthy habit. You know, I think people get really caught up in numbers and things like that. And I eat pretty healthy most of the time. You know, I do obviously cheat, if that's what you want to call it. I don't even like calling it that because I feel like as long as you eat pretty healthy, then, you know, if you want that slice of cake or if you want, you know, that french fry or whatever it is that you want, I feel like it's not a big deal as long as, you know, everything in moderation, obviously. And so, like I said, don't count calories, but if you are someone that counts calories, don't go by the 2,000 calorie scale. You know, a lot of people say like, oh, everyone needs 2,000 calories a day. 2,000 calories is for the average person with average amount of exercise. That doesn't even mean male or female. And male or female matters, your height matters, how much you weigh to begin with, and the heavier you are and the more out of shape you are, the more calories you're going to burn for doing the same amount of exercise as somebody who's in shape, because obviously it's harder for you, so you're using more energy and you're heavier and things like that. Like me, for example, I only need 1,700 calories a day to maintain my weight, and that's only if I'm exercising about 5 times a week. And if I'm not, then I need, I think 1,400 it is for someone my size and my height to maintain my weight. That's not even to lose any weight. So that's just something to, you know, keep in mind. You know, there's a lot of calorie estimators and things like that on the internet, so, you know, you can find it there. But like I said, don't go by the 2,000 calorie scale. You're just gonna mess yourself up. Also, like I said, I think it's really important to mention that I do, you know, have bubble tea like every other day, and, you know, a day out of the week, usually on the weekends when I'm out with my friends, I'll really eat whatever I want, whatever it is I'm craving. I really don't limit myself. Honestly, it's not even bad for you. It's good to have one day where you intake significantly more calories, and that way it kind of keeps your body surprised, kind of in the same way that skincare is. You know, if you keep using the same skincare routine and you don't switch it up once in a while, then your body gets used to it. It doesn't work quite as well anymore. But if you actually have one day where you just, you know, carb load or whatever it is that you want to do, then it's actually pretty good for you. Basically, just, you know, split up your food into smaller meals throughout the day. Just drink a lot of water. Water is really important. I swear if you double, triple your water intake, you're going to feel so much better. A lot of times your body confuses, you know, thirst for hunger. So a lot of times you'll eat because you think that you're hungry, but you're really just thirsty. So just drink a lot of water. And that is pretty much it. I try not to keep any really unhealthy food in my house, but like I said, like weekends, I just eat what I want. And that's pretty much what works for me. Works pretty well. It's worked well so far. So I hope this is helpful to you guys. I do want to stress though that you don't want to, you know, eat the same things every day. Obviously you want to switch it up. So I always try to switch up my produce. That's usually what I, you know, change. I try to go with what's seasonal. That way it's a little bit cheaper as well. Because you'll notice, and I know a lot of people always get really upset about eating healthy because they're like, oh, it's so boring, it doesn't taste very good. I think the worst part about eating healthy is how expensive it is. It sucks that to feed your family, you know, some mac and cheese, it would cost $1, right? And then to feed your family, you know, a healthy meal that you cooked, it would cost much, much more than that. So that sucks. Like, it really, really does suck. But I do try to buy my chicken in bulk at Costco. I try to buy all of my produce at Asian markets. It's actually a lot cheaper at Asian markets. So if you live near a 99 Ranch or a Zion market or an H Mart, like a Korean market's usually a really, really good place to get produce. It's usually pretty good quality, as well as being pretty cheap. And, you know, Chinese markets are usually pretty cheap as well. Obviously, you know, if you live in an area where there's not a lot of Asians, then that's not an option. But try to find, you know, the cheapest place to get produce, because it does add up very, very quickly. I really think that's the worst part about it all. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like I said, you know, eat a rainbow, eat a big variety of things. Don't try to eat the same thing all the time. And that is it. So this is a pretty typical breakfast for every day. Usually start off my day with a bowl of oatmeal. I eat like real oatmeal, not the kind that's like infested with sugars and flavorings and all that stuff. But I just slip a banana on top, and it kind of gives it a little bit of sweetness and flavor, so it's not so boring. But you can also put in like raisins, and people like to put almonds in there, a little bit of brown sugar. I also usually eat an egg white because most women don't get nearly enough as protein as they need. And so I know the egg yolk also has a lot of health benefits and good fats and things like that, but I don't really like how egg yolk tastes by itself. I can eat it scrambled with an egg white, but I won't eat it separately. And so that's just usually what I eat in the morning. Also, it's been proven that people that eat eggs in the morning are not as hungry throughout the day. That's another reason why I eat oatmeal. It helps stabilize your blood sugar, keeps you full for a lot longer. Oatmeal is going to keep you full until your next meal, and it's really important not to skip a breakfast. Oh yeah, by the way, and you can see my iced coffee. I can't live without coffee, but coffee isn't as bad for you as you think it is. I do try to limit myself to 1 cup a day in the morning, but it just makes me more productive. Also helps you get a better workout. And caffeine actually helps you metabolize fat. So this is pretty much what my meal looks like right before I work out, so whichever meal that is. Try to have it more towards the beginning of the day. Like I mentioned before, everything I do always changes. You know, this really applies to everyone who's really into fitness, whether it be your exercise routine, your diet. Like I said before, I didn't really eat carbs or make carbs at home, at least, you know, when I went out to eat them. But now I just have some brown rice or, you know, whole wheat pasta before I go run, because the problem with the ketogenic diet, which is pretty much what I was doing before, is that for a lot of people it works really well with weight loss, because if you don't have carbs in your body, then your body's going to resort to burning fat for energy. But the problem is you end up being really tired because carbs do give you energy, so I try to get a little bit of rice in right before I run. My experience with whole wheat pastas and brown rice is that the more expensive it is, the higher quality the grain is, then usually the less it tastes healthy. Does that make any sense? It doesn't really matter so much, you know, for white rice or white pasta, but if you are going to eat, you know, whole wheat pasta or brown rice, which is obviously the better choice, if you can afford it, I would say just, you know, spend a little bit more money and get the better quality stuff, and that way it won't taste quite as bad. And then I just have, you know, my chicken breast and spinach salad as always, and just make you full. I'm going to have some Fabi Chinese shrimp paste on top of my rice, because I hate rice. I actually really don't like rice, which is another reason why I don't eat rice. I am not a fan of rice at all. I like it in sushi and that's about it. So that's it. So what I do always changes, and so it really helps give you the energy, especially if you are someone who does interval training. Carbs really help give you energy to have a good workout. And so most people just, you know, try to reduce their carbs later in the evening, but it's actually a really good idea if you can to work out earlier in the morning. You know, helps kickstart your metabolism, helps wake you up, all these things. But yeah, that's just, sorry, Fabi shrimp paste. I don't know how to say it in English. I know how to say it in Chinese. So for my about middle meal of the day, this is like right before dinner, after lunch. I use that very, very loosely, by the way, because ideally you should eat about 5 meals a day, smaller meals. So I eat this Greek yogurt. Now Greek yogurt's really good for you. It has twice as much protein, so it's going to keep you full for longer. And, you know, a lot of girls don't get enough protein, a lot of guys get too much. It's all about balance, it's all about moderation, but it's really nice because that way it keeps you full until you eat, you know, one of your later meals in the day, and that way you're not snacking on food that's bad for you. So my favorite brand has to be Chobani, probably my favorite by far. And then this is actually my second favorite brand. You can usually catch these on sale. I try to catch them on sale when they're around $1 each. But if I'm still hungry after I eat this, I will eat a little bit of fruit or vegetables. Because, okay, if you're hungry when you're dieting, quote unquote, or trying to lose weight, you shouldn't be hungry. Now don't mistaken, you know, food cravings for hunger. But you really shouldn't be hungry. You can always load up on veggies too. This is one of my main meals a day. So I just have a spinach salad with some red bell pepper. And if you're going to make a salad, you know, salad's a great way to get your vegetables in. Make sure you're not making it out of iceberg lettuce. Iceberg lettuce has pretty much no value nutritionally. I know people like it because it's mild and it's crunchy, but make it either like a spring salad mix or romaine lettuce, or spinach is really, really good for you. And I also have some zucchini, so what I do is I coat both sides with lemon pepper, and then, oh, it's stupid, with lemon pepper, and then I use nonstick spray, and then I just heat up in the stove like that on a frying pan, and then I have a portion of chicken breast. Now, protein is really important. What a lot of girls try to do is they try to go on these crazy salad diets, and they don't work because, you know, you can't get full off of a salad. Protein is what's going to keep you full. So you're going to try to get protein in pretty much every meal, which is what I try to do, so that way it saves you over to the next meal. And so you want the portion of protein to be about the size of a deck of cards and about 1 inch thick. That's one portion of protein. And so for chicken, there's the chicken breast. That's what mine looks like. It could be a tiny bit bigger, but it's really not that big of a deal. And then I just have some sriracha because I've lived with a lot of Viet girls and they taught me that sriracha makes everything taste better, and it's true. Here's another meal example I have. I just have some steamed broccoli, some Chinese oyster sauce on the side. I love oyster sauce. It goes really well with all kinds of vegetables. Broccoli, also it goes well with cabbage and things like that. I have another spinach salad. Just to keep it interesting, I try to add different things to my salad. Like I add bell peppers. This time I have slivered almonds. I love adding slivered almonds, not only because I think texturally it tastes really good and it makes it more interesting, but also because almonds are one of the best things you can eat. Almonds, spinach, and salmon, you really want to incorporate those into your diet if you possibly can, as well as like eggs and oatmeal. I love almonds and they're really good for you. They help lower cholesterol and prevent heart attack. There's calcium in it, protein, folic acid. It's a really good source of vitamin E. And I highly recommend that if you're someone who gets bored with food, just try adding a bunch of different things to your salad, maybe different dressings, different toppings. That way it's not so boring, not so monotonous. And then I also have a portion of salmon. Now this could be a little bit bigger too. I just, I cut it in half, and so that's why it's kind of a little bit small. But that's okay because I have some almonds right on top of the spinach, so it's okay. It makes up for it, I guess. And I just baked it with some lemon pepper and a little bit of lemon juice. And it's really, really good that way. Salmon's, like I said, one of the best things you can eat. Loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, helps lower bad cholesterol, raise good cholesterol, helps with your hair and your nails, helps improve your memory. It's easy to digest. It's supposed to be really good for your eyes as well. Really helps so many things. Muscle degeneration, one of the best things you can eat. But I wouldn't recommend eating fish, especially if you're a girl, for obviously reproductive purposes. I wouldn't recommend eating it more than 2 or 3 times a week. Usually you want to stick with just, chicken or something like that. But I always try to add in a little bit of beef and a little bit of salmon throughout the week. Just switch it up a little bit, and also because, they do have good fats in them. So last meal of the day, I just try to eat something light. I just have some soup that I made, some vegetable soup, and I have some fruit. Raspberries and grapes. That's pretty much it. So not so much a meal. It's just something to have in your stomach so that you just don't go out and binge eat at night, which tends to happen with a lot of people. So that's pretty much it. Last meal of the day. So that was it. If you guys have any questions, then just leave it down for me in the comment box, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.